Hey everybody, today we are going to be working on this 2004 Mustang. It's a V6 3.9 liter, and we're going to be replacing the air filter as well as the air filter housing box. So this is just a good general maintenance item for the air filter. My box housing is actually kind of broken, that's why I'm replacing that too. But the air filter is a more important part. I don't have any error codes or anything. This is just a good maintenance item, and if you're new to working on cars, this is probably one of the easiest things you can do on your car. So it's probably one of the best ways for you to get a little more familiar with your vehicle and just take an easy step into learning how to work on your car and maintain it yourself. So I hope you find this video useful, and let's get started. Alright guys, right here is our air filter housing. So first thing that we're going to want to do is go ahead and take the sensor that goes to it and disconnect it. So in order to do that, there's just this little tab right here in the middle. So you're going to push that down and pull the two pieces apart. I'll sit you down right here, see if I can get a good angle for it. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to push down right here in the center. Sometimes they can get a little stuck, but this one should not be so difficult to get across. There we go. So now we got our two connector pieces disconnected. Next, you can go ahead and pop this pin, pop this spring up. You have pliers or flat screwdriver might make it easier if you don't want to do it with your hands, but they come up pretty easily. So now we got that loose, and there's another one over here. You're just going to pop that one up too. Again, little tip, if you're having trouble getting that part off right now, you can just take a screwdriver and pry it in. And that'll loosen it up for you. Now normally, once you have that off, you have this housing that's also bolted into here, but this is the one that's broken right now, so it's already free, if you can tell. But we're still gonna have to take this piece off, so you're gonna want to so we're gonna grab a little nut and remove this so that we can get ready to take out this housing too. Alright, now we can go ahead and take this bolt off. Flip that out of the way. On this particular vehicle, it is an 8mm, and it should come a little easy. This one's kind of rusted, so I'm taking it easy to start with, but it's a pretty small one, and it usually comes off really simple. So and it's off. There you go. It's just a little bushing that connects into your plastic piece. Okay guys, in order to make it a little easier for us to get this out, I'm going to go ahead and remove this by undoing this hose clamp. Just loosening that up should give us the ability to separate this from the main hose going here pretty easily. Just switch hands here, and that one's off. So now if we just kind of angle this upwards, get a little past that hosing, we should be able to just pop it right off, and now we're free there, and there is our air filter. So just go ahead and grab that, slide out the air filter, and you can see it's got some dust and grit in it. Doesn't look as bad as it could, but it's still good to replace it. This is a fairly new car, so I'm just going to pop it in as good maintenance measures anyway. And now we can also just easily remove our housing. Just be careful when you're bringing it in, because it does have this kind of flanged end, so might be a little stuck at first. Just got to make sure to look inside and kind of maneuver it to get through the opening. And now we can go ahead and put in our new housing and filter, and installation is pretty much just the reversal of removal. So let's get started on it. Alright guys, just a little tip right now. While you get this disassembled, is a good time to go ahead and clean out anything that's fallen under in your car frame here. So I got a little bit of straw and some leaves, so you can go ahead and clear that out right now, so you don't have to worry about that being there for the rest of the time. And here we are, just a little comparison for you guys. Here's the old filter. It's got a little bit of dirt, but like I said, it could be worse. And then here is our new filter. You can see it's all perfectly clean, hasn't gotten any dust in it yet, so we're going to pop that in. But you can see this is definitely going to help our engine breathe easier and hopefully keep out more dust too. Alright, get started. Just put this in before installation, so that'll make it a little easier if we just install this as a whole and we don't have to worry about fitting this into it once it's already in the engine bay. Right. Now we're going to have to orient this back in. So you can see there's our gap where the flanged end goes into, and this is the bracket where our connector piece is going in. So you're going to want to try and put it in and maneuver it into place that way. Be careful so that you don't bust any plastic. Some of these older parts can be brittle sometimes, but just like that, and it is set in there to go. Just keep it in place, and then we can go ahead and start reconnecting all the other parts and pop our screw back in here to hold this into the mounting. Alright guys, another good tip for right now while you got this taken out is, if you want, you can go ahead and spray down your mass airflow sensor, which is, if you can see all the way to the right there where that little rectangle gap is, you can see that's the sensor that determines the amount of airflow coming in. So if you got some mass airflow sensor spray, this would be a good time to spray it down and clean it. That's recently been done when I first opened this up to check it, and it doesn't look too bad, so I'll probably give it a quick spray. But just another quick tip, and if you want, I can make another more in-depth video about this, but for right now I'm just focusing on the air filter in the box for it. Alright, next you're gonna go ahead and put this back in. When you're putting it in, make sure that the fencing, the wire mesh, is on this side, the intake side, because it acts like another secondary filter, and that way you have a clean signal coming from your mass airflow sensor back into the actual intake. You don't have anything else interrupting the signal there. So try to put it back in. You might have to readjust a little bit. I'm gonna have to put you guys down so I can be careful putting this thing back in. Alright, now that we got these connected back in, just pop these springs back, pop the other one back on. You're gonna have to mess around and wiggle with this a little bit and just fasten that back on there. So now we can take our hose clamp, just tighten that back up. You don't have to make it too tight, just just enough to stay put. And now we can also put our frame bolts back in. Then go ahead and just fasten down your nut. Just keep it snug, doesn't have to be too tight. And then lastly, just go ahead and connect these two pieces back together. And just line up the tabs with each other. And press it in until you hear that little click. Alright, and that is it. Now you've officially changed your air filter and your air filtering housing, or just one if you only did one or the other. So If you guys thought this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. If you have any comments or suggestions, please put them below and I'll take a look at them and try to respond or take that suggestion for the next video so I can improve it.